Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another video of Be the Best DFS, Daily Fantasy Sports Talk. My name is Bradford Best, and it's July 27, 2016. And I'm going to go over my thoughts and ideas and strategies for the main slate tonight on FanDuel. Unfortunately, last night, I came up short. My lineup finished with 110 points. Marcus Stroman, he was pitching pretty good into the seventh inning when he gave up that three-run home run to Dickerson, and that kind of ruined my lineup. Uh, but that's just what happens sometimes when you play DFS. It seems like James Shields and Bud Norris were two good pitching options that I could have used last night. And also, I want to shout out to our fellow group member, Ricky Davis. He had mentioned the Angels pitcher to me last night, and I just really wasn't seeing that. But that turned out to be a pretty good play. I think the pitcher name is Sprags, and he gave up no runs. I think he pitched about 7 innings, and he got the win. And his salary was very, very low, so that would have been a great tournament play for anybody who decided to use that pitcher. Shout out to Ricky, man. That's a good call right there. But I'm gonna move on to the slate for today. Give y'all my thoughts position by position. We're gonna start off with the pitcher position. My favorite tournament play slash GPP play is gonna be Jason Hamill of the Chicago Cubs. When I'm looking at pitcher for FanDuel, the win security is like one of the most important things that I think about. After the win security, I'm looking at like strikeout upside, and then probably after that, just a pitcher that's gonna pitch some innings and don't give up any runs. Jason Hamill playing at home for the Cubs against the Chicago White Sox, I think he's in a great spot to get the win. The White Sox, they throwing somebody out there at pitcher that they calling up from AAA. I don't think he's gonna be ready to pitch at Wrigley Field, so that makes me think that the Cubs are gonna score some runs and jump on top of the White Sox early, and hopefully Hamill can kind of cruise through the game, pitch 7 innings, maybe get like 6 or 7 strikeouts, and get the win. And I foresee him having at least 35 fantasy points, hopefully 40 plus, maybe even 50. But when I look at the options for tonight at pitcher, I'm pretty sure that Hamill is going to be, the player that, I go with in my lineup. The other options you have is Hugh Darvish. I read there may be some weather concerns in Texas, so that kind of scares me. And, I really don't want to, pay that 9,600 for Darvish. He's not the same pitcher he was, a couple seasons ago. You have Adam Wainwright. I think he's very, very interesting. Wainwright, it seems like he's turned the corner from his struggles at the beginning of the season. He's been pitching very, very good, but I don't like picking pitchers on the road. And, so basically I'm kind of staying away from him because I feel like, the Cubs have a better chance of winning. You got Duffy, but the way the Angels hit the ball last night, I'm not going to, try to pick on them. McCullers, I think, is interesting. He could possibly have a good game, but the Yankees, they have a lot of strong left-handed bats. The Yankees, they have been a pretty bad offense this year, but they still do have that potential, to hit them home runs. So Duffy is, not a player that, McCullers is not a player that I'm going to, target for tonight. And you have Tanaka. Tanaka is interesting also because they could shut Houston down because, sometimes Houston, even at home, they don't really score no runs. I don't really think they scored too many runs on last night, if I'm not mistaken. I know a couple nights ago, Michael Pineda, he kind of shut them down, but with Tanaka being on the road, Me personally, I don't like picking pitchers on the road. It just scares me. So, I wouldn't mess with Tanaka. And that's all. That's about it as far as what I see for pitching options for tournaments tonight. And like I said, Jason Hamill is going to be the player that I likely place in my lineup. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the catcher position. My favorite catcher tonight for tournaments is Salvador Perez. He's 3,300 at home playing against the Los Angeles Angels. The reason I like Salvador Perez is because of his batter versus pitcher statistics versus Shoemaker. In 8 career at bats, he's batting .750 with 1 home run. 6 for 8, 1 home run at 3,300, batting 5th in the lineup. I think that's a great spot for him. So Salvador Perez is my favorite catcher for tonight at the catcher position. As I look at the other options that you could have, Brian McCann is always, an option because he has power, a righty versus lefty matchup. Same thing with Stephen Vogt at 3,200, righty versus lefty matchup. Wellington Castillo for Arizona, he could be an interesting option. He has 1 career home run against Nelson, the pitcher for Milwaukee. And let's see, maybe Miguel Montero, lefty versus righty matchup at home. He can hit the ball sometimes. But, other than that, it's no one else that I really like at catcher. If I had to say someone was my second favorite option, I would say, I forgot Evan Gattis. Gattis, he definitely has the power, but every single night I pick Evan Gattis, he don't hit a home run. And the night that I don't pick him, that's when he hit home run. So I'm not picking him tonight, so that means he may hit a home run because I'm not picking him. So if y'all want to use him, take that little tip. Cause I'm not picking him, so that means he gonna hit a home run. But all right, let's move on. First base position. This is gonna be a kind of shocking pick to a lot of you, but it's just what I like for tournaments tonight. For first base, I like David Freese for the Pittsburgh Pirates. His career against Paxton, the pitcher for Seattle, he's batting .294 with 2 home runs. Paxton is a left-handed pitcher in a lefty versus righty matchup. I think David Freese, he's definitely a first baseman that I like. He will be low owned because when you have options like Rizzo, Chris Davis, Goldsmith, Freddie Freeman, Albert Pujols, nobody's going to want to put David Freese there. But, I'm going to do it because, tonight, Pittsburgh, that's my favorite team to stack tonight. I mean, I know that sounds unconventional, but it's just how I feel based off my research. So David Freese at 3,000 is my favorite tournament play for tonight. If I had to go with a second option, I guess maybe Anthony Rizzo, but I can't pay that 5,100 for him tonight. I can't fit him in my lineup. Chris Davis, he definitely got power. He just a sorry hitter. He bat like 220 something. He strike out all the time, but he'll be a good tournament play because he can hit 2 home runs in a game at any given time. And it's a lefty versus righty matchup. Paul Goldsmith, he's a player that a lot of people forget about a lot. You could use him in tournaments. And that's about it. That's about all I see. But like I said, David Freese, he's my top option tonight because as I go through the lineup, I'm going to tell y'all about my Pittsburgh stack. And he's the first player I have in my little Pittsburgh Pirates stack. Moving on to the next position of second base. My favorite tournament play for tonight is Jose Altuve. Altuve, he's priced at 3,800. His career batter versus pitcher statistics versus Tanaka in 6 at bats, he's batting .333 with 1 home run. Playing at home at Minute Maid Park, that's a ballpark that's favorable to right-handed power. And Altuve, he's a guy, if he get on base, he's also a threat to steal. He has 25 stolen bases this year, 26 doubles. His batting average is amazing, .355. So Altuve, he's my favorite tournament play at second base. Other players that you could possibly consider, you have DJ LeMay, who he's leading off tonight. Anytime you see someone at that leadoff position, you should definitely consider them. Ben Zobrist, for the Chicago Cubs. Jonathan Scope, even though I'm really not big on Baltimore because they done let me down too much the past few days. Segura for Arizona, he could be a possible good play. Robinson Cano. Now that I look at it, Robinson Cano, he'll probably be my second favorite at second base tonight. Lefty versus righty matchup. Everybody know he got that power. Robinson Cano, I think he would be a very, very good play. But, for now, I think I'm going to stick with Altuve, but I may switch it back up and do Robinson Cano. But Altuve, he's my main guy right now. Moving on, I'm going to move on to third base. This is my second player in the Pittsburgh Pirates stack. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Jong or Kong, third baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's batting fifth tonight. The main reason that I like him is his salary price, $2,500. For a guy, with his talents in a lefty versus righty matchup, a price of $2,500, I think, is very, very good, to play him in tournaments tonight. I'm looking at his game log. He hasn't done anything lately in the last 10 games or so, but I just think he's in a good spot, playing at home against a left-handed pitcher. So my favorite tournament play at third base is going to be Jong for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Other considerations, I think it goes without mentioning, Chris Bryant, Nolan Arenado, Machado, they're all good plays. Kyle Seager, he could be a very, very good play. He had a great game on last night. So if you put Robinson, Cano, and Seager together, that could be a good mini stack with a couple of other players. So Kyle Seager, I didn't think about him earlier, but now as I look at the possible options tonight, I think Seager is a very interesting play with high upside. He had a good game last night, and maybe he might be getting on the roll. So Seager is definitely someone you should consider. And, that's about all I see in third base. Right now I got the Pittsburgh guy, Jong, but, I may go in here and make some adjustments, At shortstop, it's the third part of my Pirate stack, Jordy Mercer. The thing that, intrigued me about Mercer, one, his salary price, $2,500, but also he's leading off tonight. Whenever someone's leading off, I think, you have to consider them because that gives them more opportunities to come up to bat. It's also a lefty versus righty matchup, going up against Paxton. Mercer, he doesn't really have that much power, only 6 home runs on the season. But, with the stack, this could be the night, Other options at shortstop, Trevor Story, he's always a good option, with his power that he have. I would have to say my second best option at shortstop would probably be Carlos Correa, mainly because of the batter versus pitcher statistics. I'm a big BVP guy, and his career versus Tanaka, Carlos Correa, he's batting .500 with 2 home runs. I'm not sure how many at bats that is, but playing at home in Houston, Carlos Correa could be a great tournament play. Other than that, at shortstop, it's not really too many people that I see that I like. I do have Mercer right now, but I may go in here and make some adjustments to try to get somebody else at that position. But if you just take away my Pittsburgh stack, and if I had to say who's the top two shortstops, I would say Carlos Correa and Trevor Story. I'm going to move on to the last position, the outfield position. The way my lineup is currently constructed now, this will be the fourth part of my Pittsburgh Pirates stack, and that's Starling Marte for $3,700. What intrigues me about Marte is he got a good batting average of .315, but also he has a lot of speed. He has 35 stolen bases on the season. And if he's able to get on base, those stolen bases or get extra base hits, that could be really helpful, to your lineup as far as getting points. Again, like with the other three Pittsburgh Pirate players, he's right-handed, so it's a righty versus lefty matchup. And his last 3 games, he's been doing pretty good. July 26th, 24.7 fantasy points. July 24th, 24.4 fantasy points. And July 23rd, 12.7 fantasy points. So, Starling Marte, he really doesn't have that much power, only 7 home runs. But, the speed, gives the steal upside as well as extra base hit upside with, doubles and triples. And then, he's going up against a lefty. And, for now, like I said, I probably will adjust it. He'll be the 4th player in my Pittsburgh Pirates stack, along with David Freese, Jung, and Jordy Mercer. Other outfielders that I like tonight, this guy definitely has the potential. He's been inconsistent lately, but Mark Trumbo, 30 home runs on the season, playing at home. Any night that you pick Trumbo, he can knock one out the park. Playing at home at Camden Yards, he could be in the spot to get one. And at a price of $3,100, he's someone that, I'm likely going to keep in my lineup tonight. The price is just too good, for someone with 30 home runs in the season. And, the person in my lineup who I have right now that's got the highest salary, this outfielder, Mike Trout. He's probably gonna be my lock for today. I always have one player in my lineup that I'm keeping in no matter what, and Mike Trout is that guy. He's at Kansas City, but his career statistics against Duffy, the pitcher for Kansas City, he's batting .500 with 1 home run. Excuse me. He's coming off a good game on last night, 25.7 fantasy points. He had 2 hits. One was a double, 3 RBIs, 1 run, and 1 walk. Mike Trout, he's widely considered the best player in baseball. So, he's one of those players who have upside, every night that he plays. And, being in a lefty-righty matchup against someone he's had success with in the past, Mike Trout is that lock for me tonight. And, he's the player that I got, to fill out my lineup. Other possible options at outfield as I look at the line, the slate, and the players available. Let's see. Oh, this guy, Carlos Gonzalez. I think he's a great tournament play tonight. Lefty versus righty matchup in Camden Yards, the Hitters Park. Gonzalez, he got that power. I know he got a 3 home run game, at some point earlier in his career. They still got Ian Desmond priced at $5,100. I guess if you want to spend up the money and use him, that could be a good tournament play. Yoenis Cespedes. I like Cespedes too. I might go in here and adjust my lineup, but Cespedes, former home run derby champion, he could be a good tournament play. Dexter Fowler leading off in Chicago against the White Sox. Leading off, he got that speed. He's a switch hitter, so whenever he come up to the plate, it's going to be a lefty versus righty matchup. He's interesting. Maybe Andrew McCutchen. I don't know what's been going on with him this year, but he is an all-star caliber player. So maybe him, lefty versus righty matchup. I think that's about it that I see who I would consider at the outfield position. But like I said, Mike Trout, he's my favorite. Hopefully he can have like a game similar to what he had last night. So just to go over how I feel about this slate. At pitcher, Jason Hamill, he's my favorite pitcher on the board, mainly because of the win security. Getting those 12 points, and hopefully he can get like at least maybe 7 innings, a few strikeouts, and I'm hoping he get that 40 fantasy points or more tonight. And as for my lineup, for now I like Pittsburgh a Pittsburgh stack. I think is very contrarian. But, as I was doing this video, I was looking at Seattle. I'm like, hey, Seattle, that might be, a good team to stack. But, Pittsburgh, especially David Freese and Starling Marte, I like both of those guys. And Trumbo, home run power, 30 home runs this season. Hopefully you get one tonight. And, my favorite player in my lineup is Mike Trout. A lot of people say he's the best, so, I don't think you can go wrong with picking him on any night, especially on a night where you have good history against the pitcher. But I don't want to make the video long. I guess I'm going to end it right there. I want to thank everybody for taking the time out to view this video. Definitely just give me some tips and advice on how I can make it better. Just trying to learn and just step my game up with this DFS industry. If you like the video, just let me know. If anybody want to join me on these videos or help me in the production of these videos, just reach out to me. I definitely want to try to make something of this. And good luck to everyone tonight. And, make sure you get your lineups right before lock. And, I'm going to say the same thing that I say every night. Just try to be the best. All right.